What is up, guys, and welcome back to another Epic 7 stream. It is your boy, Mashu.
It's your friendly neighbor, Luca.
And how is everyone doing today? We have a World's End podcast today. You guys know how it is. We have a bunch of content creators here with us, mostly on Twitch for now. But here they are. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm FartPancakes. I stream on Twitch like 3 to 4 times a week. I do a lot of E7. You may know me mainly as the person that does Guild Wars all day, as the one-man guild, basically. And then occasionally you'll see me doing account reviews in RTA.
Nice.
Hello, I'm Elvemage. I like to overdose on copium while I'm an RTA maniac, and I try to compete at the highest levels of RTA if there's such a thing in this game. And yeah.
Hey, I'm Jenazad, and I stream every day that my internet's up. And I don't know. I guess I'm not as competitive anymore, but I play a decent amount of high up RTA.
I don't know, man. I've seen you almost like grabbing legends sometimes.
Almost.
Almost.
Oh.
Top 10 RTA legend finisher last preseason.
I'm
I
also
saw that.
really,
Last
really tired.
preseason. True. Oh man, talking about hitting close. Elva, are you gonna try to make the Hall of Fame this time?
I mean, I'm definitely always gonna give it a try until I get it. And I always heard that third time is the charm, right?
Yep, you're almost there. But yeah, guys, we are going to end up talking about a bunch of stuff that's happened within the last 2 months. You know, we haven't had one of these podcasts. It usually happens every other month, and it's now that time. But yeah. As for, if you guys are wondering for your like code or anything else, you guys can use exclamation point code if you guys haven't already. The code is ARIA for the box that is in your inbox. It's a box in a box. To get your
No survey
30
today.
gold. Yeah, no
No
survey
survey.
today. But if you do stay tuned, we are going to give away, or well, they're going to give away some Sky Stones at the end of the stream. So stay tuned for that. And then, yeah. Other than that, I mean, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of things.
A lot.
First up, though, that we have on the plate is Ancient Inheritance. So we couldn't talk about it last month. But how do you guys feel?
Amazing content.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's
It's good.
insane value.
For sure.
It's like the only content that's been added that doesn't require any energy to use, so everything's just free, basically. And it's crazy. Like, I got like 60 small artifact charms,
Dude, it's
leaves,
huge. Yeah, you get so
Insane
much.
good
Gear.
gear, like
On speed.
The gear doesn't roll terrible either. It's not
Yeah,
a scam like the arena gear.
we can
Wait,
even buy
yeah.
some in the guild now.
Did you guys buy the gear that came out
I did.
around on the guild? My
did.
neck rolled insane actually. I'm super
That
happy.
neck is like literally one of the best pieces of gear someone could
For sure,
possibly get.
for sure.
Like, it could be the best item on their entire account. So
For sure.
it's
The
like kind of
neck-
crazy.
Even for a person like me who hates PvE usually, I loved Ancient Inheritance.
I think it's fun.
I think
it's
actually fun.
It's not constantly there, so it's not
Yeah.
like a chore. It doesn't get boring or anything like that. It's like I don't know, when's the next one? We're waiting for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something people are actually looking forward to and not complaining about it. Like when we had the other side story with the difficult one. What was that called?
Advent?
Oh,
Advent, that one.
Yeah.
A lot of
I don't
people
even know if
loved
they're
it,
gonna
but
do
there were a lot
another
of
Advent.
complaints.
The last Advent was so bad that I don't even know if they're gonna bring it back.
The fire advent.
so bad.
Yeah.
The
But
sad
yeah.
part
Well-
that is the rewards were so good you were forced to do it if you wanna be competitive.
But this
Well-
is something that I think people have fun with.
Yeah,
You-
definitely.
I mean, Ancient Inheritance was more to help out, getting more activity within the guild. And Advent, in a way, was sort of geared towards like a certain demographic of players, right?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
and so it's nice to be able to have Ancient Inheritance, where it's like yeah, everyone in the guild, you know, we can all do it together. I heard some people would like get in their guild discords and they would like talk with each other and like do it together to, you know, beat all the stuff, and it was
I-
really cool.
But
I
I-
should-
I've yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I kind of found it the other way around. It didn't make people do more guild stuff. It made guilds just kick all the inactive people.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
That's what I was
yep.
gonna say.
It made you find out who, like, rat out who all the people are that do absolutely nothing, and then you
You
just
check the levels,
get 'em
right?
outta here.
And I used to be a goblin treasure. I was like chasing all the treasures, and I'm like, oh no, I should really start helping out the guild because
Yeah.
the final boss, if we don't contribute,
it's actually
we might
really
not
hard,
reach
yeah.
it.
Exactly, especially with the time frame that was given before, right? So we did get a lot of like people talking about, oh man, it should be longer and stuff like that. But yeah, what do you guys think overall? Like, how would you change it, like from what it is currently?
I think the bosses could be maybe toned down a little bit on difficulty. Like if we're just keeping everything that we just had like consistent, right? Everything would be fine except like maybe tone down the bosses difficulty so that more people can get to like all the zones faster, and then people can still do some treasure hunting on the side.
I think
I think we need more
Oh.
provisions.
yeah,
think
or
that's
just
where-
it lasts a little longer.
Yeah, one or the other.
One or the other would help you.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, make it so there's any reason to fight normal enemies. I did not fight a
True.
single normal enemy.
Yeah.
the
Unless
entire
they were
entire
guarding
game.
treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually
It's
didn't
just
get the
not
point
fun.
of random
The
enemies on the
random
map.
mobs.
Yeah.
I only tried it on stream for once, just because I was like, how is the battle like in this? And then afterwards, I was just like, yeah, I need to focus on like the main people because I have no leisure, right? I was like, you need to get through this like pretty fast.
Yeah.
Another
think-
good thing
yeah.
about Ancient Inheritance is the fact that like they standardized it so people like even newbies that don't have gear and stuff can still compete. All you need is the unit, the gear set, and the artifact, and then everything's like full mola, fully awakened 6-star, and it's a good opportunity to actually touch units that you're never gonna use, like Soul Bad Guy. He's like
I
godly in Ancient Inheritance. Even Fire Ken. These are units you probably are never gonna touch in your life except for Ancient Inheritance.
Fire Ken was actually god in that mode.
Really?
Slam
Yeah.
lifesteal set, yeah.
Oh dang.
Wait, Celilius ignore Airfres on defense break 2 turns. It was
Yeah.
actually pretty good.
Yeah, I started
Interesting.
putting lifesteal set, like random lifesteal pieces on units.
Yeah, yeah.
Just so I
Same.
could get it and then
Same.
like bring them in.
I was like, my level 5 Ken is actually gonna be useful. Let me slam some lifesteal gear.
Oh, the worst thing for me is I'd be like, okay, I want to use this unit, and they had a bunch of junk gear they're holding, and it's not a set. I'm like, oh no,
Okay, no, I have
Oh,
to-
no.
I have to
the
move it.
level 5 unit.
It was actually pretty fun as well. You could make your preferred class your main thing, and you could focus on it. I
Yeah.
really like the concept. The overall concept was good.
I
was fun.
haven't really heard anything bad, just suggestions on how to make it better.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
overall, it seems like people really enjoy
I
it.
guess it's just
I
the
enjoyed it.
provision, the
Yeah, provision
go-to
changes
thing
for it.
to
Yeah.
yeah.
It's free rewards when it really comes down to it, and I think it solves artifact charms being an issue.
Rock God
Yeah.
Raid. Hello, Kana. Thank you for
Hello,
the raid. Hello,
hello.
everyone.
Hello.
For joining us.
Hello.
We have the World End Table Talks here with Luca, FartPancakes, Elvemage, and Jenna, and we're just talking about Ancient Inheritance. But I mean, next up, I guess we could talk about what's currently changed recently, which is the new guild weeklies.
Okay, I actually have something to say about this.
Mm.
Please, whoever is on a guild that actually has players who do RTA and enjoy the game, please do your weekly missions. You can do them on day day 1. You can immediately do them all. Please.
Well,
There are
these
some
are so
time
good.
gated. There's some time gated ones, but the
Yeah,
rewards,
other than the time
the
gated.
rewards are really nice, and it helps out a whole guild.
Yeah, and everybody has to contribute. They just made it way easier
Exactly.
though. So
Yeah.
you know, if you're one of those leecher slackers, you might be able to go under the radar.
Yeah.
You might be
Until
okay.
Ancient Inheritance comes back.
Safe for now.
It's a good way to call people out on being lazy, because like
Mhm.
this
True.
recently for like my guild, for example, Whale's just been super lazy. Like half the guild's just chilling AFK, and then once we realized that the guild rewards were weak or like contributed with the whole
The
team.
whole team, yeah.
Everyone's like, all right, guys, we need to get our stuff together. So everyone's like finishing all their missions and then posting up a screenshot like, I did mine.
Oh
And
my
then someone else would be like, I
Wow.
did mine too. And then
Yeah.
Whitey would be like, F you guys, fine, I'll work on mine.
Oh,
Peer
man.
pressure.
The last one
Yeah.
done.
That's what I've seen in my guild too, is like people asking for like screenshots of like, did you do your weeklies? Did you? Are you sure?
Dang.
Well, I don't know. Like the people in my guild just do them, and then I'm like, do I
Dad's
really
built
want to do the
different.
Goblin Gate? I'm like,
How'd you look at what is your take currently and like how it's been?
I mean, my guild is pretty chill. I mean, we have people who are kind of not doing much, but then we also, in our like during guild wars, we always have one of our like guild leaders. They'll add us and do a little mooey whip to like remind us to do our guild wars.
Yes.
But overall, I think they're good. I think it's nice.
yeah.
Any extra rewards and makes you play the game outside of the normal farming, etc. I think it's fine.
Okay, but what if they made it so Guild Wars had incentive now? They added the Guild
Yeah.
Weekly missions. Now, what if there
Wow.
was any reason to be in a decent guild?
I mean, you get your mystics, right?
Yeah, but you can be in a top
True,
1,000
true,
guild
true,
and
true.
get your mystics, and
True.
all you get if you're top 100 is a really ugly border. So
Oh no. But yeah.
I've heard some input from people that they wanted like more and better rewards to have more incentive to do guild wars too. Like if we
Yeah.
got more mystics for winning or being in a higher guild for one, and then like if you are in a guild that finishes like top 100 for example, like what if we got like a rep frame, so you might have a little bit more incentive to do something and then show off like, oh, I'm in a top 100 guild, here's my fancy frame or something like that.
That's always
Well,
nice
even
to
if-
have, right?
even if stuff was discounted in the guild shop, or possibly add
Something,
more
yeah.
things to like the higher tier guild, like unlock certain stuff in the shop or something, just so that you can it feels like there's no reason right now. Like there's just no point to be in a
Mhm.
good guild,
Yeah.
or even try really. So
True.
Which yeah, I mean, get good feedback from that all the way around. I feel like that has been something the community has been asking for sure, is changes to guild wars especially. Especially because they used to be like crazily competitive, right? Vying for like the top and everything else.
That's ancient E7 history.
Oh, sorry, I'm ancient E7 history, the
Dang.
last standing. Oh god, I thought Jennifer was, but he's fine. But now moving on, guys. So we talked about that a bit, right? So what about the change to like guild shop in general? You know, we added mystics, we have the double gold transmits on top of that, the elementals.
That shop should be in RTA.
oh, that's a good point actually.
That should have been the RTA shop, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
if you
I-
like played enough RTA games and like you farmed a certain amount of points and then you can like buy out those like elemental summons every week, you know?
Yeah.
I think more people would want to play RTA rather than it just be like, oh, we get 80 energy and 1 greater charm a day, cool.
I think
Let
the
me
shop
just-
is kind of a scam, to be honest. Like in using the armbands, I think it almost kind of tricks people to be like, oh, I want to get these summons when they should be getting the guild artifacts, because
Artifacts,
we
yeah.
don't get many armbands. So
Yeah.
I'm actually at the point, I'm not sure if I want to spend the armbands, because I have the artifact, so I'm not sure. I'm afraid of they releasing a new Guild
Mhm.
War artifact, and I'm like,
Oh.
these are so hard to get, right? So I'm not sure if I
kinda
want to spend them or
banking
not.
on
yeah. So I feel like they should be cheaper, or I mean, hey, RTA shop. I think a lot of us have been waiting for that for a long time.
Long.
Yeah, I think some people were asking for just, if we're gonna have that, to just have more ways to get armbands. If we're gonna keep it how it is right now. Because the only way you can really get it right now is so little. You can only get such a limited amount
Yeah.
that it doesn't make it worth to try to get anything else unless you're already capped. But even like Elv said, like we don't know if there's gonna be a new
Yeah,
like, guild
exactly.
artifact that you want to buy
Yeah.
out.
Okay,
So-
maybe more armbands the higher up your guild is,
Ooh,
because then you
that's
can
a
buy
starting
them
point.
in the
Ooh.
shop. Doesn't
Yeah.
even have to
Starting
add
point.
anything else.
kind of like
really.
an extra thing, like at the end of the week, if anything, too, where it's like,
Yeah.
it
Mhm.
accumulates your progress and then distributes for who had like the best performance that week.
Oh, that
That'd be
would
kinda
also
sick.
incentivize people,
People wanting to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to
yeah.
like, do
actually
better.
do.
and not in their guild wars, right, guys?
Mm,
I never entered a guild war in my life. Never.
I've only done it like once or twice on stream. Every time I stream, I get scared, and then I enter. Oh
If
man.
they just change the currency to buy the elemental summons with the crests, I think
Oh, okay.
people wouldn't have an issue with that.
Mm.
Because the ancient inheritance gear is bought with the crests, and no one
Yeah.
has any issue. So
That thing, dude,
Yeah.
that gear is so nice. I think I rolled 75 gear score on the neck.
Oh
my
my-
neck today was almost 80 with a triple roll on speed.
Oh
my
It was
God.
actually
What?
pretty fun.
Wow.
Mine's only
Yeah.
gonna hit effectiveness. I already know.
Mine's
I don't even
16
want to buy
speed.
it.
Actually, someone, I started stream today. Someone showed me. Look at what I got. It links me both inheritance pieces. Weapon 24 speed, neck 22
What?
speed.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
Oh my
gosh.
god!
20.
Oh,
I'm jealous.
Oh
I am
my
jealous.
Same guy. What?
God.
Same
No.
guy. Some people are just blessed, you know.
Exactly.
Speaking now of what you'll be using that gear on, we can now start to jump into the main meat of things, what you guys are here for and wanting to know is the PvP. And first off, we're going to be talking
Boy.
about units. With that, the newest unit, not yet released even, is Arya.
Can I make
Well,
a comment
she-
on the design?
Go
Oh,
ahead.
she-
Go
I,
ahead.
I just want to say that husbandos are very underappreciated, and Smilegate is kind of getting out of hand with these balloon-shaped booba chest waifus, and we need more proportional waifus out there too.
We got magical
Oh.
DN.
You mean Magical Girl D?
Magical Girl D.
Exactly.
Yeah, her design isn't exactly for me, but like, it's intimidating. Okay.
For
It's a
sure,
little
for
too
sure.
thick, but Arya seems. I mean, I was kind of talking about this before the stream started, but it's kind of like MO Selene, where the character is either going to be completely unchecked by your opponent and pop off, and your opponent's going to be like, what the hell do I do against this thing? Or they're going to have one character on their team that counters her, and she's going to get completely useless and get destroyed. But she looks like a lot of fun, just like MO Selene too.
Yeah,
I'm
she
super
seems like a lot of
sad
fun.
because I'm biased because she's a shadow elf, right? That's my kind of thing. So I was
mhm.
hoping for C. Lilia's level broken type of character. Right now, her kit is definitely interesting, but she's weird. And
She's
like
weird.
Jenna
She's
said,
weird.
I think on certain comps she'll just pop off and be the OP, but like Celine, right? Probably too many counters, so it's easy to
Yeah,
Yeah.
corner her, and you go to the
Rimuru,
counter. Yeah.
all of the debuffs in the game right now.
Angel of
openers,
Light.
Solitaria
about,
gets
Yeah,
focused in the
Solitaire.
word.
Yeah, and like what I was talking about mainly too, when I was talking with Negative, I'm like sure, if you just put like her base out there and like play her against like any rando or whatever, it might be good. But then if you're thinking about like who is like the openers that should be contending against, right? Your Rands, your Payras, and she does not fare well against either of them.
Okay,
either.
I just was randomly thinking about it though, but could you use her in something like Cleave, where you have 3 Cleave units,
I
and then
think so.
she's
I
like the
think you
anchor
can.
for the team, where the remnants of their team can't deal with her?
Yeah, so
I
what-
honestly think that might be the best. Yeah.
I don't know.
In Cleave, the way I was thinking about like how you would use it, if anything, is like if your opponent is speed contesting, what are they gonna pick, right? They're gonna pick like the acids and everything else to try to single target unit. If you do the last picker in that case, and she's like fast enough with Warhorn, she cuts in, then all of a sudden all your units are stealth. And what do then? They have so much damage mitigation because of the AoE stealth, like
Yeah.
what stealth does to AoE, and then they have barrier on top of that it just stops that. It's a counter anti-cleave, but
And,
can also help for cleave.
and she can wear book, right? So
Yeah, she can wear book
she
as
will
well.
always have value.
Mhm.
And for example, one of the terrors for cleavers, one of the terrors of the game is a Ravi, right? So imagine you snipe a unit off, Ari gets the turn, you suddenly stealth your units, she has defense buff, a Ravi can only target her. No way a Ravi is gonna kill her,
Yeah.
and you win the game from there, right? So
And
I feel like she can potentially be an anchor for cleavers or aggro even, especially in
wanna-
this every single target.
I think that she's gonna be fun with like T Crozet, because you have an
Oh,
invisible T
gosh.
Crozet defending her, and they have to
Oh,
attack
God.
her.
Oh.
And I think it's possible maybe you don't even build her damage, you just build her as a full tank with a ton of effect resist, and she just
Yeah.
sits there.
She has blind,
mean-
right, too, which also helps. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Her
she hits
passive
two
gives a
units.
great
Protect
chance,
the
great
team.
damage, right? It's a great
Passive,
passive.
super bruiser.
Her artifact is also really interesting too because you're
Ooh.
getting really spicy debuffs from that. So like
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
even if you
yes.
want to put that on Arya itself, like she already gets the counter buff. So if she counters and pops off some defense breaks,
Yeah, the aggro
enemies in
defense break.
trouble.
Yeah. We're talking about.
Thing is, with arties, there's so many broken options. It's hard to make an artifact viable. But for people who have more limited options, I can definitely see it actually working. And right, the defense break, high
Mhm.
rolls, etc.
Exactly.
It's an
Like,
interesting artifact.
the 4 debuffs that are on it are like really crazy.
All
and
good,
could
yeah, all good.
Change the game. It's silence, it's death break,
Unbuffable,
unbuffable, and speed.
and slow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
decrease speed.
All good debuffs. It's one of those artifacts that might be good in the future as well.
True.
True.
It just seems
has value.
it's kind of nice.
And I like it. It's a free-to-play artifact. The
Yeah.
value
No,
from plus
100%.
15 to plus 30 is like minimal.
4%,
It's
yeah.
4% extra
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah,
It's minimal.
I'm glad. I know they're still gonna make those kinds of artifacts, looking at Hua Young's, but I'm glad that that's not even that good of an artifact. But
Yeah.
it's nice to see some artifacts that anyone can pull, put to plus 15, and be like, hey, I'm happy with this.
As good as plus 30.
Yeah, she
Yeah, for
seems
sure.
kind of cool though, but I don't think she's really gonna change anything.
Yeah.
She's more of a just kind of fun unit. I
I'm
mean,
interested to see more specific players, like for example Kotick, who has very specific bruiser playstyles. I'm interested. I
How they'll
want to
use
see
her.
what they can do, how they will use her. Yeah, she's definitely seems like a unit for them potentially.
I'm just ready for like people to go ham with like, because she hits 2 units, right? It's not like full on AoE, but it's like 2 units. And I was like, oh no, she's always gonna hit the correct unit and blind them. Like your S10A.
I think she could be really nice on Fairy Tale for a Nightmare, because if you
Yeah.
build her really tanky, that's actually adding more damage. She's hitting 2
Mhm.
people.
Yes.
She's stripping buffs. Seems
That's
really
what I
nice.
was
way-
talking about
No
before,
way you're
too.
giving it to her over Solitary or Arch.
Okay, well, you see, here's the thing. That's your fault. You only have 1.
True.
Oh, you messed
Wow.
up.
Very
It's
true.
got multiples because we want to be a little careful.
Just in
Very
case.
true.
Especially after Guiding Light, you're like, oh, maybe I need another.
I've got one
For
sitting
all
around
the-
right now.
For all the Degen players out there, that artifact could be really good on the counter dizzies, the
That's what I was,
Amerus,
oh my
even like the
God, dude.
Tenebrias. There's people running like Degen Tenebrias out there.
Yeah.
Champion
Yeah.
Zerato.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Sharado.
Bring him back.
Dude, it's crazy to see it. We're even thinking about like, if you just spray it instead of, it's like a better Sierra Ren, right? In some cases.
Yeah.
So like, if you put it on F10A, who could shuffle out of turn, and then all of a sudden
More
you're just like,
defense breaks and
what
stuff.
happened to your team? Oh my god. It's just like completely massacre with one thing, and it's like, I can't.
Not units, also ancient history though.
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
F10 hasn't seen much play. I've been on Gearder almost completely.
It's funny how like 6 months ago she was the best unit in the game.
Yep.
Right now, who?
Shoot.
Yeah.
I was tired of that meta though. It's like
Me too.
F10A every single game.
Oh,
You're
with
like,
this meta? Oh man, it's so sick.
yeah.
MMO Limited and Terra every game, man. I can't wait to queue up and predict my opponent's entire draft before they even hit the play button. Man, just so good. Fairy Tale Tenebria though, miss me with that.
Yeah, you see
Yeah.
the same 10 units in every single match.
I
Unless
can
you're
really
in low
like,
elo. Unless you're in a lower rank.
this is gonna sound so stupid, and I'm exposing myself here by saying this, but it's literally like some stupid like JoJo's thing where it's like you're gonna pick that and that unit, and then they pick it, and I'm
And they're
like,
like,
and they're like,
"What?
oh my god, no!
How'd you
Like I already
know?"
knew their draft, dude. Like,
I do that a lot actually. So this guy's gonna pick that. He's gonna enjoy Angel of Light. Or this guy's gonna pick that. He's gonna enjoy End Guy. It's
Because
always
you know,
the
like, what
same.
comps are pretty much viable at the top, right?
Yeah.
well, also I know what I'm picking, and I know the moment I pick one unit, I know what they're gonna pick in
They'll
response,
pick, yeah,
basically.
yeah,
So it's like I already know their draft.
The only units that change is the last two, right?
Yeah.
But moving on from Arya and into Bad Cat Armin, guys.
Memories.
She's called Bad Cat for a reason. So
Yeah,
I've
she's-
heard.
Oh, she's bad. She's real bad.
Do you guys believe I pitied her?
Ooh, I
I
almost
saw
pitied
that.
her. I almost. I'm like 10
Wait, did
summons.
you
Oh
see
my
how I got
You're
her?
like 2
Elfmage?
summons away from actual pity or something.
Yeah,
Jenna.
yeah.
Wait, did you see how I got her?
Jenna,
No,
I saw.
I
The
did
Jenna
it actually.
fall.
So I wanted this unit, right? I liked them.
Yeah.
I was like aesthetically and like design. They seem funny. I like that kind of character, right? And so I had 5 galaxy pulls saved up. And I was like, you know, what are the odds, right? Maybe I don't even have to summon. So my second pull, I got Bad Cat Armin, and I was like, oh my god. And then my 4th pull, I got Bad Cat Armin.
It's a sign.
The
It's a
game
sign.
knew
The
that
game
I
was a
wanted that
sign.
character. You guys can hunt and chat, whatever, dude. I got 2 Bad Cat Armins.
They're just
Worth-
like, oh, here, you want this unit? Oh, did you want to imprint, by the way? Did you want to imprint?
Immediately plus 15, friendship 10, and she's the most useless thing I've ever built. She's completely
Mine's plus
worthless.
15 too.
Oh,
You
man.
plus 15 her?
Yeah.
She's kind of unbelievably bad, where
Honestly,
even if you try to force her, it feels like I heard you made her work with like some gimmicky thing, but come on.
yeah. I mean, okay. She's never gonna be a meta unit, right? But I think she's definitely okay.
Oh,
Like,
no.
Mm,
Famous last words. Elf
Because-
said that.
This is how she works. It's like, oh great, it's Bad Cat's turn. Can I skip it? You S1, you get countered like 3 times, you lose the match. Nobody attacks her ever.
There's one match. There's one draft where she's good. One draft when they go Apoc, Ravi, and Stannis specifically. If they draft those two, she's all right.
The fact that you're like, you're right. I think you're right, Elf. It's like, you've been copium a lot recently, right?
No one believes.
There's a will, there's a way.
Exactly.
Just
But-
because you own Emil Kowarik doesn't mean this unit's viable.
Okay, that's another thing.
He just makes everything work. It doesn't matter that
Okay,
Emil
fair.
Kowarik works with her or something. Okay,
But it's a
Like-
team effort, right? It's not a
No,
one
he is the team. It's not even a team
True,
effort. He
true.
makes the whole team.
True.
But yeah, but what in this case, like you guys are saying, like, how currently she's not being played for the most part, right? What would you change, or how would you change her in that case?
Okay, crazy concept. Maybe it's too much, but her S1's a huge AoE, right?
Yes.
Which is usually bad, and you get counterattacked. What if her passive worked on being counterattacked? So that you force counterattacks, and then it makes her
Mm.
passive work. And then maybe you build
Okay.
speed on her, or make it so extra attacks work on her.
It's unique for sure.
Because
Actually, yeah, that's
I've always kind of thought that it would be interesting if there was a character that could counterattack counterattacks. I thought
Yeah,
Emil
it's like a
Ken should
force
be a
enabler.
character that can counterattack counterattacks, because Emil Ken was
Back
like
to-
the god of counters or something, right?
The only unit that does that is like SSB, right? SSB's passive. I think it's the
Yeah.
only unit that does
Yeah.
that.
Technically, yeah, you're right.
Well,
But-
Honestly, I don't know how
Rowena,
to buff this.
technically Rowena counters.
She
In
counters them,
a
but doesn't
way, yeah.
counter. Yeah.
Yeah,
she doesn't do anything.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, Bad Cat's
Worse-
S3. It's like it's worse than an S2. It's like one of the
Oh,
worst
it's
abilities
useless.
I've ever seen.
Oh,
it's
it's useless,
actually
useless.
it's terrible. It's beyond terrible. It does literally nothing.
Yeah, I think her S3 is just it doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
It's useless.
Her skill set is just 3 random skills with no synergy thrown on a character.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
like that counter things too. Like
It would be
that
different.
actually, it would be different, and it makes a lot of sense in her case, for like what she would be wanting to do, right?
You could run her in like really slower, tankier teams against units that have counter and stuff, and you could just be taking these counters and maybe have pilots and stuff in your team as well, or
Yeah.
Rwana,
Oh.
things like that. And
Omega punish the counters.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not just to punish counters, but also just like it adds an interesting thing where you want to be countered with this
Yeah.
character,
Mm.
which I
Yeah.
feel like
Mhm.
doesn't really happen. You never
That
want
often,
to,
yeah.
really.
I don't know, Jenna. I mean, I remember watching you try to miss on the violet. I think the other day.
Yeah, I hit
where
him
you're
3
like-
times in a row and lost because I couldn't
Yeah.
activate his passive.
It
Oh,
was so sad.
I love her dual attack animation. Her dual
Yeah,
attack
they
animation is
added-
actually pretty
They
cool.
put so much work into
Yeah.
this character. She has a unique S1 animation only when she dual attacks. Like, she has a unique standing animation from the other 2 armaments.
Yeah.
And then she's just terrible. It's like the art team was like, "Oh man, we're gonna make this cool character," and then the balance team or design team was like, "Okay, they're gonna be bad."
Like,
Well,
do you know?
to be fair, not every unit can be Koweric, right? There has to be some bad
Well,
units.
thank God, but yeah, I mean, there's some.
They called her
decent
Bad Cat for a reason.
Yeah, one
They
like
could, she could have been cute cat, but they're like, nah, she's gonna be
If she was
bad.
good cat arm, and maybe things would be different.
Maybe,
like,
yeah.
Farther Elva, like, what would you change about her? Like, is there anything at all you
Oh,
could think off the
I'm-
top of your head?
No, I'm terrible with balancing because I would either make everything look broken or make everything look really bad.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
Actually, I
If you
don't
wanna
know.
try out.
Honestly,
You know, anything.
I think RS3 needs a change. I think that's the biggest
Oh, yeah.
thing.
It should like
S1 and
cleanse the team
S2
or
is
something.
fine. Yeah, I think cleanse 1 debuff would be okay or something because with the soul burn you can do it every other turn, but right now S3 is non-existent.
Or maybe make
Hmm.
it so that the front unit gets some big bonus, and kind of like a
Yeah.
T-cross
Okay,
sort
yeah,
of
that'd be,
thing.
that'd be
Oh.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than like a backline unit kind of thing, it's a frontline unit kind
It
of
like
thing.
fully cleanses them and does something. I don't know.
Something.
Dual attacks with them.
It's a new thing where if you're trying to hit the front unit, you can't. You have to hit bad cat.
Oh.
And then if you hit bad cat, the front unit counters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In
yeah,
theory,
yeah.
she's cool, but she's
In
just
theory, yeah. Yeah, when
Or
I first
maybe-
saw her, I was like, oh, it's kind of interesting.
Oh, maybe S3 strip provoke. You forced
Oh.
to hit the bad cat. Then
Yeah.
she
Oh
brought the
yeah,
rest.
that was another thing.
Ooh.
Is she? It feels like she should have a provoke in her skill
Yeah.
set.
I was gonna
or-
say, I was like,
Yeah, especially in the
Yeah.
S1.
Yeah, it's so weird. Her S1 is like 50 lines of text that end up doing nothing. Like it's such a long description of just trying to describe how injury works.
oh, that's usually how it ends up happening for injury, especially. It's just like, we have to make sure that this sounds correct when you're hitting a person with high health to a certain percentage.
It's just a lot.
It is a lot. But next up, guys, a unit that just was released as well, ML, Pirate Captain Flan.
Oh boy.
What are the thoughts
Um,
on her?
She's like hotter Silverblade Araminta with a delay. Like it's like Silverblade Araminta if I wanted it in the future rather than right now. Kinda.
I
can-
honestly think
yeah.
she's not that bad.
Well, the
But
thing is, I think that's because of the tournament. So when you ban out the top, I don't know, 12
That's the thing,
characters in
yeah.
the game, suddenly she looks pretty nice. But
okay. If there's no mediator, if there's no Conquer Lilies, if there's no Pyra, and they're playing
Angel
tank,
Blade, there's no
and no Angel of Light, and they're playing tank,
Hold
she's
on.
really good.
no, maybe no Amelia.
Apologist.
maybe no- You just have to ban half of your opponent's team, and she's starting to look pretty useful, right?
Okay,
Ban every
she-
support in the game.
she punishes the Ruel drafts.
Yes.
it, like
Oh,
this.
So
yeah,
the thing
for
is,
sure.
the whole meta is aggro right now, pretty much.
Yeah.
So she's having a real hard time right now. Also, why does she not have can't crit built into her skill set?
That's mind blowing, actually. And why did they put the combat readiness push on RS2? It's the most
why is
random thing in
Even the
the
soul
universe.
burn on her S1 is kind of weird because it seems like they don't want you to use the Summer Saria artifact on her or something. So it's like,
Yeah.
what's the point of this? Like, who's gonna spend 20 souls just to blow up the bomb right now? I'll just use Silverblade Araminta and stun right now.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
don't
was
know,
saying in
it's-
chat. Why do that when you get stunned right now?
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. It's like she's just Silverblade Araminta with extra steps, right?
Who do you think is better though, Pirate Flan or Silverblade?
I kind of feel like Silverblade. Like,
Oh,
Dang.
okay, well here's the
damn.
thing. The thing is, it depends
Different-
how you're using them. So Flan is better for a slower game,
Mhm.
where she's a lot more usable. Like
Can wear
bombs
guiding
are actually
lights,
pretty
so
strong. Yeah, but if you're just
Mhm.
trying to be like really aggressive, Silverblade would be better because it's like, I want my stuns now. But
I th-
you can also do stuff where you disable them the first turn with like Angel of Light, and then they get stunned the second turn. While
yeah,
Silverblade
yeah,
Araminta
that's the
wouldn't do
thing.
that. So
Yeah, that's the thing.
One
I
thing I
think,
want to say
yeah.
is like she's basically Silverblade Araminta but repackaged. Um, since Dilibet is kind of back in the meta now, one thing is she's not gonna be able to cleanse off the bombs. She can cleanse off the burns and stuff,
True.
but the bombs will still be there. So you're just kind of sitting there chilling, like, oh, I have no way to cleanse off
Yeah.
these bombs.
she's still pretty strong versus Flan though. Like before
Yeah.
Designer Lilibet was buffed, I would fight against Summertime Assyrian using her, and I'd be like, this is the most useless character ever. I can't even cleanse these bombs. This
Yeah.
character does nothing.
Mhm.
But now
Yeah.
that she's
Take down,
actually like
yeah.
a really good character, I can't even justify them changing that really, you know. But
I think though people underestimate the value of a guiding light unit. I think they really do, and especially on a single target meta.
yeah, I've lost to a couple, but not because of Flan. It could have been replaced with like any unit in the entire game, and I would have
But
just lost.
I bet it needed to be a stealth unit for you to lose though.
No, they just had Emil Kalwaric.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Hand guy.
She usually was not the reason for the loss. Like I think Ida is a better character in a lot of
Nah,
cases.
it is
There's
really
no,
good.
like
Yeah.
so
Ida's
much aggressive
so
play.
good. It's crazy
is
like
so
how
good.
much like value she has now, especially.
I remember when
Mm.
Masha was trying so hard to make her work when she first came out.
It was so
Yo,
bad.
it
She was trying
the
so hard,
struggle.
trying so hard.
My
Yeah,
And
head
now
on-
it's her time.
You guys
She's actually
don't
really
understand.
good though.
When
She's
she
like-
first came out, I
She's so
plus
scary.
15 insta 6 star 10 friendship, and I forced her. So I was
The bad cat.
I was in
incident.
champion before when I was like hard going RTA when she first came out, and I dropped all the way to master because I was forcing her in every game, and I was like, yo, like I don't care. I want to know how she works. I want to know if and when I can use her, and I'm just like, I don't know. It's not happening. I can't find like that thing. But like her whole concept to me was so cool because she was originally like a unit. I was like, yo, this is someone who could like mess with people's like speed tunings, which they don't really notice. And then so when it does happen, they're like, wait, I'm kind of screwed here. Like my units like aren't going in the right order.
I remember people trying to make that work like that. It was so
Yeah.
bad though.
Yeah,
She was just way
not
too
it.
awkward.
It was
Yeah,
too
I mean,
awkward to use.
I would almost. She's insanely strong now. I think. I think
Nah.
she's one of
Yeah.
the scariest units.
Yeah.
Like late pick draft where you're just like, I don't think I can deal with this. Like it's gonna stun my team, push me back, do a ton of
Yep.
damage.
And she plays around Dilibit in a way, which is
Yeah,
super
she's
good
really
for
good
Cleaver.
versus
Yeah.
Designer a little bit, which is
Because it's like
a
CR
big deal for me.
pushback,
I draft
right?
her in every game.
The CR pushback is nice, and then she has like the CR push on her S3 now too. It's like, it's a lot. And being able to push up after, like to guarantee your turn, because 20% is so big, right? And you have all these openers like Lilius and Ran, even the freaking the Rock, dude. Like the new Rock that came out that
New
we'll talk
Rock,
about
the
later.
Rock
Oh
God.
yeah, it's a non-attack skill.
Yeah, it's a non-attack skill, and
Yep.
20%
Yep, that's the combo.
is huge. But yeah, like talking about it, it was after Pirate Captain Flan. But next up, though, we're gonna have quite a long talk. I feel, or if anything, just a lot to say. And it is the unit that released like right before, and I know we understand. We have the feedback, you know, guys. But it is Hua Young.
So
The 8th disaster.
let me just say this real quick. Smallgate released their whole thing talking about how they'll be careful with units in the future and all that kind of stuff like one day after. I'm pretty sure they delayed that post just so they could. It's like like committing one more crime before a law goes into place or something. Like
True.
they want to commit that last crime, release this unbelievably broken unit, and then say, "All right, guys, I'm off the stuff for good. All right, like we're just gonna be real careful about balance. We're not gonna,
Omega
we're
last
never
one, I
gonna
swear.
make this mistake again. Other than this one we just did 2 days before
Yeah.
RTA end. Other than that one, ignore that one. That happened before this post.
Omega last one, right?
I hate this character. I've literally permanently banned her for the past, I don't know, 2 weeks, just because I'm tired of fighting her in every
Yeah.
single game.
I mean,
And that's saying something. I perma-banned Emil Koeric before, so
she's just that good, right? You're either playing with her or you're playing against her. So you
Yeah.
either play her or ban her. There's no other choice.
she's a tank that one-shots one of your units every 3 turns at 250 speed.
She's a Dark Corvus at 250 speed. Yep.
Yeah.
That
At
doesn't.
this
That
point-
starts the game with S3.
Yeah.
She's a better Strays because
Yep.
she does the same tank shredding thing, and then she's way harder to kill. Like if you're
Yep.
trying to kill a Strays, like okay, you just go first, you one shot him, you're done. You try to do that to a Hua Young, no,
has
she's
shield.
still living.
She has barrier.
Her damage reduction is actually unbelievable.
Makes no
How
sense,
much?
yeah.
She would be totally balanced if she had less damage reduction and her cooldown in her S3 wasn't 3 turns. I think she would
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
she would be fine, but she's literally oh yeah, you know what she's just LQC but better in almost every conceivable way. She's an
Exactly.
LQC at
Actually,
250
yeah.
speed
She's LQC
with
without
more
even
damage reduction.
Like
She gives herself a bigger FCC shield, 30% damage reduction. Like, she's just
She's an ML5 at this point.
yeah.
I would be kind of okay with the one-shot mechanic on tanks, but the thing that tilts me the most is that she one-shots any unit. That's
Yeah.
stupid.
Her
If
S1
you give
hitting.
her attack buff, yeah.
I have 0 molas in her S1, and I'm doing 8,000 damage to a squishy unit. Like on a miss, I'll do 7,000.
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
like,
it's just
well,
ridiculous.
so the only way to survive this character is to either be tanky enough or you're invisible. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like Rimuru, where it's like,
Yep.
oh, you just punish all these characters. They're unable to be used because they're just not tanky enough or not invisible. These characters, I think they just cut out lots of the roster. You just can't play anybody into them, except for very specific units. I think it cuts down the amount of variety.
Not even Hand Guy can deal with her, cause like if you
Yeah.
bring Hand Guy into Rimuru or LQC, you just attack down. You're
yeah,
good.
attack down
You
really
do
hard.
that to Hua Young, she's like, psych, I'm just gonna cleanse that off and still do what I do.
They had to make an entire frenzy mechanic around her and Rimuru. Like,
that's how
reducing damage
strong
by
they are.
30%, because she would kick a Rem for 18,000 damage and immediately remove them, and you're like, oh, I guess
Yeah.
I lose. But so they had to make a whole frenzy mechanic rather than just balancing this character.
I also
Yeah.
don't get the. I mean, I kind of get the full cleanse. It's a consequence of mediator Koeric, but why immunity on top of that?
Yeah,
With the
she
30%?
self-cleanses and then puts immunity.
Self-cleanses.
She's
Yeah.
probably the most self-sufficient character I've ever seen
Yeah.
in the entire game.
Yeah,
And I
self-sustains with the barrier.
The
like,
barrier.
she even CR pushes herself. It's like she has like every single type of mechanic just
it's like
built
better.
in.
It's better like the longer the game goes because attack goes up.
yeah, doesn't crit, so even on a mid, does
Yeah,
it
It's
yeah,
damage?
doesn't crit. My poor ML Ken. What's he to do against Hua Young?
Yeah, people at first, like when they first started, like, oh, dude, it's Fire Ken but kicking, right? And a girl,
Yeah.
like, no, this is like
Mm.
Fire Ken on crack. Like, it's just like full ham.
I don't understand this character. I can't believe this character actually, like, this convinces me that there is no testing at all, because anyone could have told you that this character is ridiculous. And people like to say, oh, but it kills A Ravi. Yeah, it kills my whole team
Yeah.
and A
That-
Ravi. It's
that
like,
was the main
if it just killed A Ravi, then that's fine. That's like LQC, right? My whole team's dead, though. Oh, my camera's
Yeah.
frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic. Some
It's
things
a
never change.
classic.
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
first
don't
day-
worry. Oh,
Before she came out, I was feeling very confident on my LQC draft, and I was like, she doesn't one-shot LQC. She was shot. Then like I go into a match, she presses L3, my LQC is dead, and I'm like, okay, why am I not playing this character every game? I thought she was supposed to kill a Ravi, not everything.
it actually doesn't even kill Aravis a lot of the time unless you have like attack or vigor, and also if it's a proof of valor Aravi, it just can't kill him. So it
Yeah,
just kills
that's
everybody else on my team.
yeah, it's a consequence. That's the thing, right? As a consequence, we move proof to Aravi.
Yeah, a
FCC
lot of
gain more
people-
because FCC is one of the few ways to stop her, and then Aravi is still good, but
Wait.
Hwa-Young is just terrorizing everyone.
Real quick, instead of making Hwa-Young, just buff Zahak because his S3 is really good against Aravi. There you go. We didn't need Hwa-Young.
True.
Just buff Zahak to deal with her, and he would crush her.
The injury.
Yeah.
Zahak's
that
not
injuries.
that bad.
He's kind of, dude. You're putting like 500 gear score on him, and then drafting
True.
like the most busted units with him just to make this one.
Here we go
guy work.
again. Here we go
Right.
again.
Like,
It's the elf.
I kind of love the
privilege
character though,
coming out, you know?
honestly.
oh, I think he's awesome. It's just I also think there's like they keep releasing these recently. Have you know? You guys have probably noticed, right? Like characters that you want to build fast damage, like 250 speed
Yeah,
plus
yeah.
as much damage as you can. They just keep releasing them over and over, and I think it's become a little too muddled. So Zahak is just one of those ones without a solid niche, and he's a little hard to use. And
he
his
became-
S2 is also bad.
He was already not that good, and he became just bad, as you guys say, with Celius, right? Celius just was the nail in the coffin for all these units that are not like Hwa-Young, Rimuru.
Yeah,
Just
everyone
infinite
wants
value.
to. Everyone wants to open up with Paris C. Lilius now, just because
Yeah.
they're like, oh, let me just
Yeah.
open up with these two attack buffers and then go Hwa-Young next.
if
Like
you're not
you
taking
don't,
the first turn,
Yep.
you don't get a turn unless you're a tank. Pretty
yeah.
much.
That's why it's like forcing an aggro or cleave playstyle now if you want to deal with Hwa-Young, because if you don't ban her, it's like, okay, I either have to build a super fast damage Kisei and reset her, or just straight up cleave and win turn one,
But-
not deal with any BS.
Then you want to
doesn't-
play.
Oh.
You want to
You
play
go.
with Kize, then you have to deal with Pyra and Celilius, and
Yeah,
can't play
and-
Kize, and
Yeah, it's
Well,
really
Hwa-Young
also-
murders you.
Hwa-Young doesn't actually require that crazy gear. Kisei requires really
yeah,
good
yeah,
gear.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
you have to outgear your opponent, kind of, or like just really high up gear to be able to counter this unit. Like it's really punishing, and a lot of people also say like, well, they're great for newer players or free to plays and stuff like that. Okay, but what if your opponent picks Hwa-Young and you're the person who relies on them? Do you just
Ooh,
lose?
yeah.
That's it? Like the match was a 50-50, whoever picked Hwa-Young first won? Like I just don't see any justification for this character, realistically.
Yeah,
said,
exactly.
Imagine if
And I'm
Hwa-Young
frozen
had
again.
extinction. I'm like, I don't want to imagine that. Sounds terrible.
You guys would actually be surprised on how bad my Hwa-Young gear is, and she's still my best unit.
Oh, dude, my Hwa-Young has crap gear, and because usually the
Really?
thing is like when I play units, right? I always want to think about it in a way of like, oh, everyone could play this unit, right? So I put legit free to play, like it is I-90 gear, but it's like mostly purple, and I have like a couple 88 gear pieces on her, and she works perfectly fine. Like
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
even
yeah, yeah.
changed.
Once you have enough attack and speed, you're just
Yeah.
like,
Exactly.
all right, I'm done. And maybe stretch goal a little bit of defense.
Yeah.
But
That's a bonus, right? You will work with as long as you reach 7k attack, and that's like
Yep.
220 plus speed, 230 plus speed, whatever stats, and she
At
will
the-
be a god.
at the absolute minimum, your opponent probably has to F3 her twice to get rid of her. Which
Exactly,
means
minimum.
they have to use half of their turns, like half of their roster's strongest abilities, just to take out a unit that already killed a fourth of their team.
Yeah.
And if they don't, they lose because she'll do it again in like 1.5 turns of a normal unit because she's so fast.
Yeah,
But she
even that
cycles-
speed buff on her S1 or
Yeah.
the CR push, whatever,
Yeah.
she just
that's true.
cycles way too fast, and then you're like,
Exactly.
wait, her S3 is
Yeah.
up already? What?
Exactly.
She can also soul burn it to just go into an S1.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Extra third soulburn, the most broken soulburn in the game. Why
she
not?
has like her only weaknesses are unbelievably other unbelievably broken units,
Unfortunately.
and she works perfectly with them too. So I think
me-
this unit is
Someone on YouTube
I-
says to make a character that does more damage the slower their speed is. That'll be interesting, actually.
Interesting with how does that
BBK. I
connect-
think that's BBK, right?
True, right
Oh,
now
true,
FRES
in a way.
BBK out, right?
You know why?
It's kind of interesting though to enforce those kinds of things, but I think that kind of puts your opponent on a timer almost, which could be a
Yeah.
little bit annoying. But
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
what-
Like, yeah, go
Hua
ahead.
Young is a huge mistake. She's a dumb unit. I don't know what I know what they're doing, but you know it's bad.
I
I'm
agree.
sorry.
Fart. I'm saying, well, yeah, you agree. Everyone here agrees, and in line with how Huayang has turned up in the meta currently. The last unit that we'll be talking about is a unit that just came out as
Oh,
well
boy.
that no one was expecting. In this case, some people are dubbing a rock god in this case, but it's a 2-star fodder unit that just came out in chapter 5 of episode 4. And why
Oh,
is that?
Frost Shard, for those that don't
Frost
know.
Shard? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, 2-star Soul Weaver at 117 speed, and with the Frenzy change gets an extra 15. So I guess one of the fastest openers in the game, with a 15% CR push and attack buff to the team, a little Rose buff.
Have you ever
Um,
thought of a Rose at the run with the base speed of run?
Are they
That's a
actually good
2-star.
though?
They're
Like, are they legitimately actually good, or is this just gonna be like people try it
I
out and have fun
think-
and then drop it?
I legitimately, I only saw a bit of her, but I legitimately think she's good. Because imagine people with really, really high speed gear, right? You have to think about those people. And those people, if you have a Rose that is faster than any unit in the game, means your team is faster than any unit in the game. So it's
They're
guaranteed
already-
turn 1 with attack buff.
Yeah, I mean, there's already players in Asia that could just outspeed me with a Rose any day. So
I mean,
like,
yeah, but
it really doesn't even change anything for me.
But think about it as I always do this when I play this game. I think about the base speeds, right? So according to base speed, even if my AC is not that well geared, I'm gonna outspeed the majority of the players. But with this unit, you're gonna outspeed everyone if we think about equal gear, right? And that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, she's like, or I don't know why I said she, that rock thing, but it's like as fast as Terra,
Yeah.
Which is
You
pretty
mean rock
damn
god?
fast. Yeah,
Rock
rock
God. Rock god.
Rock God.
I
Yeah,
don't know,
just
if
this
earlier you
2-star
wanted to be
fodder.
like bat chest instead, right?
Yeah, because it's like a bat. Yeah.
But yeah.
But she's also this is a consequence of the most recent changes to the frenzy, right? And I don't think speed is the way to mess on with this game because speed is too good. It's the most
Yeah.
important stat in the game. On a turn game, obviously, will always be the most important stat. So we have to be careful when we're messing around with speed.
I
Soul
agree
Weaver,
with that
yeah.
because speed is king in this game, and the fact that they just felt like, oh, let's just buff Soul Weavers, that just made me think: is Smilegate's balance team like on crack, or are they just not trying? Because why did they only want to focus Soul Weavers and not care about any other classes?
Okay, because here's how I see it. Soul Weavers, they suck right now. Like they're just bad. The only ones you ever see are Amelia and then
Amelia.
like a rare maid Chloe
Chloe,
or
yeah.
something,
I mean,
right?
there's
Yeah,
Ruel too for the
No,
people that don't
she's
like
dead right now.
Rimuru.
She's dead because
She's dead.
aggro kills every team with Ruel, basically.
A lot
That's
of
what it
people
feels like.
still like to play Ruel though because they feel comfort on having that guaranteed revive.
guess so.
If she gets a turn,
She's
but I agree
usually
with you.
just really bad versus like this aggro and all this stuff.
I agree
though.
with you. I agree with you. But I still
here-
see a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. But when it really comes down to it, this just buffs Amelia.
Yep,
Like nobody
exactly.
uses these other units. Amelia's just better now. Wait a second. And DJ Basar's a little better, but
Cool.
I don't know. It feels out of character to do this. I think that this buff is infinitely better than the CR push one though they had for
Oh.
RTA. That was one of the most boneheaded ideas I've ever seen in my entire life. Like it was just some intern at the office was like, "What if they pushed every time they killed somebody?" Like and then they just put it in the game for 1 week and they're like, "Okay, that was a horrible idea. Nobody liked that."
The stupid thing is Sasha is as an artifact that has been placed since season 1.
Yeah.
How come they didn't think that would be broken?
Well, the thing is, it's funny because like you don't put that on every single ranger or something, right?
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
when you just have it passively, it's like, okay, I'm winning this match so far. Oh, it looks like I just won the game automatically. Like it's over now.
Yeah, I mean, it led up to for some flashy cool plays, right? But
Yeah.
overall health of the game. Nah.
I've said this before, and I definitely think this would be cool. They should just add all these rules that they try into a mock lobby, and you can just set rules and make custom mock lobbies with all these like insane rule things,
these
like
different
CR
changes and
push,
stuff.
extra speed to these
Like,
classes,
This
like
frenzy
Yeah.
time, it's thief
more or
time,
less
guys.
damage, like all sorts of crazy things like that. They should just try out and rotate tons of different things into that, and then add all that into a mock lobby, and you can just have fun party games
True.
basically.
True.
That would be fun and interesting.
Mhm.
And we could actually like kind of like test certain things for other people who are like testing, right?
Yeah.
But I do like that idea for sure. I know I talked about it with Elf before too, about the frenzy changes overall, right? In which like the Soul Weaver change speed, probably not the stat to go for in this case. But
don't think so.
when Elf was talking, like imagine if they buffed Soul Weavers with 50% ER instead overall.
I think if we want to mess with stats, that would be the way, right? Because the one of the biggest Soul Weaver issues, and why they're so Dilibet's so good, is that you need 100 more effectiveness than you need ER, right? But it is also broken for a unit to not be debuffed at all. So if you go to the middle ground on 50, where you have to sacrifice a bit to reach that status of you're immune to debuffs, so I think that would be nice. Yeah, it's even more stats. 50 ER is more stats than 20 speed. Yeah, so. But it's not as abusable, right?
Yeah.
The thing with speed is very abusable.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, we saw people like Light just putting on a Angelica like ridiculous.
Look at
like,
this new
325
2-star, right?
speed, Yeah.
Well, I think a lot
Can't
of us
even be pre-banned.
can kind of agree. Soul Weavers, Smilegate doesn't care about them. Honestly, the last Soul Weaver that was non-limited was like Ray, and that's like a year and a half ago.
Holy.
And there's the least amount of Soul Weavers compared to every other class.
Yeah.
They're kind of just wrecked, honestly. And debuffs are insanely powerful right now.
Mhm.
People are just spamming openers with heavy debuffs, and then you're like, well, I don't have Emil Quirk, I don't have Designer Lilibet, I guess I die.
Yeah.
If you don't have one of those characters, you just get blown up, and they will just ban just your Amelia or whatever, and then they just pick a bunch of debuffs.
The thing is, as much as we hate them, Mediator Quirk and Designer Dilibet are like necessary. Otherwise, you just get the debuffs.
Well,
There's so
no.
many debuffs.
I don't think they're necessary, because then the meta would be so unplayable they would have to immediately change something. It would be so unbelievably bad that they would have to change something immediately in the next balance patch to fix it.
Most
Or
annoying thing to
quickly.
deal with though is the RNG, and I have to voice that one of my guildies wants to say that he will stop funding Smilegate salaries until they get rid of 15% in speed RNG.
A nameless, faceless
We-
guildie.
I think we know who this guildie is.
I wonder.
A big whale
Okay, the thing
pays
is,
a lot of Smilegate salaries.
I actually, I have a different opinion on speed RNG in some ways, like a half and half. But 15% in dual attacks, just remove them. Just get rid of it. Just
least-
balance effectiveness and effect resist slightly. Just remove both of those things. Nobody will miss them. And anyone who does miss them, honestly, I don't even care about their opinion. I don't even care.
At least remove 15% on single target debuffs. I get it on AoE, but on single target debuffs, it's like a flurry S3. That's all I do for 5 turns and 15%.
True that. And this is like your sole purpose, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Dual
at least
attacks,
for single target.
like, and there's gonna be someone out there who's gonna be like, no, my ML Surmia, I won't be able to win off a dual attack or something. Like, no, it doesn't matter. Like,
You're not gonna bring ML Surmia for that.
That's
reason
not
in the
why you
first
draft
place,
her.
yeah.
the thing is, Smilegate says, oh, we balance the game around these things. You can't, like, that's stupid. It's like an outdated law existing. People will
True.
say, well, it's a law, so, we have, like, that means it's
Yeah.
right. It's like,
Yeah.
just get rid of it. Nobody wants it. It's outdated. Nobody likes it. It's just bad.
All right. Now moving on, guys, from those talks. Current meta, guys. We're talking about what units are being picked alongside double pre-ban. What you guys think about it coming into it? Granted,
Double.
it's not just there yet, right?
We
For
haven't
some
been-
people.
No one's really
Why
tried
was
it
there
yet.
Yeah,
no?
exactly.
Yeah, why was there no double pre-ban during this preseason? I swear I don't get it.
Very
Like,
strange.
Yeah, I think that was needed for preseason so people could figure out like what they want to do. And then now that we have these changes implemented, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna jump right into the actual season, figuring out what I'm gonna do first.
Well,
yeah, and
I was actually really proud of Smallgate for trying out the frenzy changes in preseason. It's like they almost understand what preseason is for testing things. They're almost there. But yeah, why would you not try the double pre-ban? There's like, what do you have to lose?
and the thing is, they want to test the frenzy changes on a non-double pre-ban situation. Like, how can we test a thing, right? If it's not if we can't even test it on the proper setup, like it's so weird.
I think that this season is the same as last season. And you know what that season was kind of like? The season before that. And I kind of want to see, I don't know, half the units in the game removed at this point because I'm so fed up. Like, I can look at my match history and I just see almost every character in the entire meta that's ever drafted except for like a few niche units. And it's always Emo Lilius. It's almost... So I don't pick Emo Lilius. My opponent picks Emo Lilius at least 9 out of 10 times as their first pick.
Who doesn't pick her is the unlucky guy who didn't get her.
I purposely don't pick her just so I can pick the team that I like, but it's insanity how much Peyra and Emo Lilius are in every single game. Because why wouldn't you pick them? They're unbelievably broken.
Another thing is, like, with the frenzy changes, with the elemental disadvantage thing, that just incentivizes people to be wallet warriors. Like, alright, I guess I just have more reason to pick my ML5s, all my ML units, because I don't want to, like, have a elemental disadvantage for, you know, XYZ unit. And it was kind of like that 2 seasons ago when it was, like, all carrot, Landy, Rem, Violet, Charlotte. That was, like, literally the whole thing. Someone's gonna first pick the Landy, and then someone counters with Carrot, Charlotte, and then someone counters that with a Rem, and then the other person's like, all right, let me pick Violet, and it's just like that every single game.
Like the counter pick
Well,
meta.
The bright side is that can't happen anymore because Hua-Young and Rimuru just kill everything anyways, and they're always picked. So it doesn't, you know, there's no like, oh, I'll draft this to beat this because you know that's just gonna happen, right?
Young will just kill anything. Rimmer just kills anything. Who cares, right?
Just draft him. Who cares? 30% less damage. Damn. Oh well.
At the beginning, honestly, first time I saw it, first days, I kind of liked it, right? I was like, oh, I feel like this is gonna be nice for the game. But as days passed by, I started to realize that Rimuru and Hwa-Young are still the only RGB playables, and it's actually not a good mechanic because 30% mitigation plus the 50-50, it's too much. It's too much. It makes the counterpart matchup impossible.
They should just get rid of the 50-50 and make it just this 30% like in the game or something.
I think so, but at the same time, 50-50 is also important for debuffs. As a counter to soft counter to debuffs.
I mean, maybe they could do that as part of a overhaul of the effectiveness and effect resist.
True.
Because I think you're right. Yeah, debuffs would be a big thing, but I don't know. Just making games devolve into just 50-50s in these ways, it feels really gross. Where all the time you're like, well, I guess if I hit, I win. If I miss, I lose.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate blind debuff, dude.
Blind debuff's the worst because you have a chance to win. If you're just stunned, you're like, okay, I'm screwed. Okay, there's a chance that I'm fine here, and then you're like, oh, I just used my S3.
It's kind of like the don't give me hope.
It's actually it's the worst debuff in the game because it's the only one that makes you feel worse. Like you feel worse with that one than any other debuff.
Well, imagine if Smilegate adds in like new mechanics, new debuffs. Like, you know, Pokemon, they have confusion debuff, right?
God.
What if they added confusion here and you're like, oh, I have a 50-50 of hitting myself. Hwa-Young, don't hit yourself, please.
I think I would just quit the game at that point. Like, just make a character confuse the whole enemy team. Strips 2 buffs and confuse enemy team. I think I would just quit at that point. I'd be like, okay, well, you know, I've seen enough.
Oh, that would definitely break the game. I can say that for sure.
But
At least they're trying. They're experimenting with adding
Yeah.
new debuffs, like stigma
Okay.
is a start, injury is a start. I mean, it's not really a debuff, but at least they're trying to introduce more things. But I think what
Yeah,
they
like the
need to
frenzy
do
trains.
is like revamp old, outdated units that no one touches, like says, regular Araminta and haste. If they wanted to add like the new debuffs or injury or something to them, and revamp their kits, maybe they can be usable again.
Well, but you have to think about it from their perspective. You see, they only have 2 months to buff 5 characters, right? 5 whole characters. And, you might think that only takes about, I don't know, a couple hours in an office room, because it does. But from their perspective, that's a lot of work. And so, I don't know if they want to buff that many characters. Like, they might have to buff, like,
True.
10 characters even.
tomorrow,
And,
right? Tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah.
You think Cesar hates to get him buffed? I don't know about that
what ends
one.
up happening,
I don't know
for
either.
Balance Flash.
I
If
hope
they
Dark
don't,
Corvus gets a rework though. That unit.
he needs a rework. A lot of
Not a
characters
buff.
need reworks.
Rework.
Haste
Yeah.
needs a rework. Araminta
Yeah.
needs a
Yeah,
rework.
bring him up
Says
to speed
maybe
currently,
buffs.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of these characters, people are like, "Oh, I can't wait for EE for haste." It's like this EE better be giving him like 40
Yeah,
speed or
yeah.
something,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's not gonna do anything for him.
But yeah, last but not least, though, for PvP, it is talking about our new friends out here in the World Arena RTA now. We have the Japan server joining us now. Have you guys played against any of them? How you guys feel about a new, different like mindset, I guess, of players coming into World Arena?
Well, I don't understand that question, because how do we even play against Japan server in the first place?
Yeah, I guess no one's really fought many.
I haven't fought any. I only played today, but no jump.
Like I've only seen, because I run like DJ hours all the time, right? And I've seen like Magic Chi like fight the JP bros over there, and I saw the first one that I saw. It was like they drafted like Crow, and I was just like, oh no.
Oh no.
And the thing is, it was a Crow that didn't run Aureus either. It was a holy sack Crow.
What?
Oh
It was
no,
like
Just
no,
don't
no,
hit it,
no.
I guess.
It was like a
No.
revenge holy sack Crow, and I was like, okay. And then
So-
they
They'll
all-
learn.
I-
There's
I-
some
they'll learn,
cracked
they'll learn.
players out there. I've seen there's a JP server guy with like a 320 speed
Oh,
Para
yeah,
and like
but
a
that's-
8k
But that's just
attack
money is
Wyong.
the thing, Like, their playstyle is so different, and I think they're gonna have to adapt real quickly, and I think they will.
Yeah, I do
Um,
want to see how that ends up happening.
We should just give them, the RTA welcome and
Yeah.
kick their ass, okay? And then, they'll adapt faster. It's
just
like
Ross Wave every
they have
time,
to learn
guys.
at some point,
Say
I've
hi
been
to
saying they
everyone.
will stand no chance, so I'm eager for them to prove me wrong.
Oh.
Because I've been saying that it
Okay.
stand no chance.
All I know is I know there's very good players there. It's not
Yeah.
like, oh man, they're so weak or something. But all I know is that when the number 2 guy showed off his gear, it was the
Oh.
biggest mess I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Having like a
Oh.
carrot with 210% crit damage at 75% crit chance, seeing that kind of stuff is like, that's rank 2, huh?
I don't know.
Like
Listen,
my
good.
Wyong
That's what I
outspeeds these openers and things like
Yeah,
What
that.
what if
Totally different
that
playstyle.
was all a bait?
Maybe.
Ooh.
I mean,
Maybe.
it's like a really dumb bait. It was in Japanese and on Japanese Twitter. I mean, I don't.
But yeah, we'll end up seeing how they fit
he's
into
right.
the current meta.
I'm
and
definitely
everything
excited
else.
though for fresh
Yeah.
blood.
Fresh blood.
If it's anything
Um,
like how it is in like fighting games, especially where it's just like they have like their own meta in which they bring like all these weird units all the time. I do want to see how it ends up playing out. We'll see.
I think it's exciting getting new people, and maybe they'll join the communities and like kind of get
sure.
integrated, and
Yeah.
that sounds cool to me. Like,
Yep.
more people the better, because I mean, fresh ideas are also welcome, right? Maybe they look at stuff completely different perspective,
Yeah.
like Crow without Aureus, I guess. But I don't know. Like,
Dang.
actually, though, maybe there's some cool stuff that'll come around, right?
Yeah.
Crow with the double pre-bans though.
True.
It's a
With
unit
double
that
pre-bans,
makes
it's a unit that will come back, I feel. Or
make a
at
comeback.
Yeah,
least
This
has a
is
lot
the
of
first
value.
time that Crow like hasn't been that good, I feel like, in a while.
Yeah.
More recent meta.
Do you think we're gonna see a rise of Golden Boys coming back?
I hope so. That's when the meta was the best.
What?
Meta was fun.
I
Meta
have
was
no
fun.
Yeah.
Golden Boys. I'll suffer.
I didn't
ever-
play. I only had a Tywin. I didn't have LR Crow, and I think it was fun.
I
They
played
were
no
all
Golden Boys. That was
dudes.
the
I
best.
was so
Oh,
screwed.
well, the thing is, I didn't play like the Golden Boys, but the meta
Yeah,
was
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
We're never
I think
going
by
back
the
to the
end,
glory
Yeah,
though,
days.
run it back.
I think by the end, when the people figured out the G perk Bazaar combo was a bit
Oh, yeah.
not
Oh,
fun
yeah, that
because
was-
where the fastest Bazaar usually was very
Remember when
favored. But other
Bazaar
than
was
that,
broken? Remember how
Remember?
that guy was broken?
Remember?
Yeah, what is that?
The olden days. Okay, we're not just reminiscing, guys. But moving on, I guess like we'll skip over some of this stuff. But pretty much, is there anything you guys would like to see? You know, like quality of life or things change in the game, like something special.
Like quality of life changes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Quality
I would
of life.
really love like gear presets or like a loadout preset kind of thing. So like I have a specific gear set I put on RB. If I want to put it on Kisei, you just click a button and it all transfers. I don't have to like sort through all my gear and be like, okay, where's that RB helmet? Where's that RB ring? Because I don't like moving my gear around. That's just me. I like specific sets together, and if I just want to move one set onto another unit, I can
Kinda
just,
like if you have,
gear
like, a-
preset done.
Kind of like if you have like a
100%.
fastest speed set, and then you're just like, I want to see how fast this is on this person.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I almost wanted to say I want nerfs, but that's not going to happen. So that's
Nerfs
a
would be
little.
great.
Let me wake up from that real quick. I just want Smilegate to, I think, talk with players and creators and stuff like that about the meta. Like, just have a nice talk and discussion, because I think that, for instance, the frenzy changes. I think, I have to give them credit. They actually are trying stuff out with frenzy. They did it in preseason, which is like a first. That's crazy, actually. And they even adapted one of them only 1 week after it was changed, which is
That
a
was
huge deal.
actually
Like,
crazy. Yeah.
I was so proud of them. I was like, these guys that's exactly the kind of stuff we want to see.
They've grown up.
Yeah, I was
They're
like,
so grown up.
"Oh, man, they did it." So, but I also think that the frenzy changes showed their lack of understanding a lot
True.
of the problems with the game. And I think if they just involve themselves more, like, I know that the Korean community feels like they're kind of ghosted by their community managers as well. And I think if just they got more involved with the communities, they actually followed more feedback, I think that everyone would win in the end, really.
Yeah.
They need to stop putting monkeys onto the balance team, and then maybe we'd get
least
better
train
nerfs
them.
and buffs. Yeah.
Their
Make
balance
them play
team,
RTA.
Their balance team is genuinely abysmal a lot of the time. I think the last balance patch was actually incredibly good. And if we had gotten more of those in the past few balance changes before that, I would be like actually pretty on their side. But that, hey, a broken clock is right twice a day, right? Maybe they just got lucky. This next balance change that's going to happen tomorrow, I think is really important. I think a lot of people have their eyes on this, and if it's a bad one, they're going to be, I know some people that are basically kind of done with E7 right now.
We are not right. We are on the right path. I feel like right now. So it's up to them to not from the
Actions
path.
speak louder than words. They're saying that they're gonna make things better. I really hope. I want them to prove a lot of people wrong and win me back. Win a lot of my. I used to be always on their side. Smilegate shill, not really, but
I
now,
usually am.
I was like
Okay,
pretty much
100
always
free
on their side
molas are
defending
coming,
them.
guys. That'll
Yeah.
make up for it, right?
It doesn't
We
matter
have
how
10
many moles you get
summons.
if you can only.
We have 10
draft
summons
10 units.
now. Wait, the game is fine. We have 10 summons free
Yeah.
right now this weekend.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I really want to believe in them. I hope that they do some cool stuff, and I wish them the best of luck.
Same.
Help, any QOL that you want to see?
I think
Specifics?
Pancakes and Jenazad spoke the biggest one. So
Another
Nothing
thing
to
I
add.
want to throw out there that someone wanted me to voice is like another thing you could add into the game, kind of like how you have the the 6-star potion, the potion of ascension.
Yeah.
It's like that, but to refund Molagoras, because I know we have like a lot of plus 15 units that we just don't use anymore, and we're like, man, I wish I could get back those molas. If you have like this potion and then you use it on that unit, you can refund all your molas that you could put somewhere else.
That would be nice to have. I like to
More
build like
whale
really
stuff,
random
more whale stuff.
units.
Well, it's like
I was
everybody
just like,
gets
I'm
one for
down.
free once in a while, and if you want more, obviously you have to whale for it. Yeah.
That's a nice idea. I agree.
I'm a little bit of a dissenting opinion on that, just because I think we're almost at the point where we have all the resources we need.
I think though that's if you're spending wisely, right? So if you're like a new player coming in,
if you're spending wisely, if you manage your resources well, then yeah I guess like that's the point, right? You shouldn't be wasting them, right?
This is true.
I think after we get 100 molas, that's like 3 character refunds right there.
Another thing is like E7 is such a big learning curve. If people come into the game and they don't know anything right away and they didn't get the proper guidance, idiots like me come in, they're like, let me plus 15 my Tama. I'll do great, you know?
Oh, God,
and now I still have plus 15 Tama, and I'm like, well, it's too late for me to make her a DPS now.
Maybe they should have a new player forgiveness system or
New player
forgiveness. No, what I mean by that is like, once you hit a certain level, it locks in all the molas. But
like a last chance kind of thing. Like, hey,
yeah, it's
if
like
you want to change it now.
Yeah.
The game is very overwhelming for people.
Yeah, this game is
right now,
very confusing early on.
On that though, I am glad like we are seeing the change for that one system that was in the Awakening. I talked about in the Awakening, which we'll be able to like use a unit like fully max without actually maxing them.
I'm gonna try so many different units.
I'm gonna try everything. It's gonna be so fun. Because for me, I'm like a tester. I love testing things. Like we said before, like talking about the edit back then. I'm like, I want to force this unit. I like this unit out. I want to see what they're like, how much they're worth. And being able to not invest like crazily amounts. At most, you're just investing gear like gold, right? For removing equipment, if anything. But yeah.
Okay, wait, real quick. Wait, somebody in chat said whale talking with all the resources. I'm not a whale, all right? I am not a whale. I'm just better than you are at managing my resources, right?
I mean, yeah, FartPancakes here too. It's like mostly free to play.
Speaking about quality of change, remove gold to re-gear units, please. Yeah. Like it's. What's the point? Why does it exist? Like,
or just give us more ways to earn more gold, because I like refreshing the shop to buy summons. I have no other way of getting more summons otherwise.
That's another one. 10 times shop refresh when?
Oh, that would be so good.
Oh man. My gold would be gone then. I have so much gold.
Only on refresh.
Well, you always have to choose between bookmarks and arthritis, and or not having any. And it's like, well.
Oh man, but yeah.
I need to buy the rock god exactly from the father. I need to shop refresh.
From that though, is there anything else you guys want to bring up? We're kind of running along that time now. No, you guys good? Anything
I'll
from
remember
chat?
It after the stream.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, you guys can always ask me. I'm always open. That just like shoot me a message or something, or if you guys want to ever talk about stuff, right? And we always try to keep it intact of like all your guys' opinions, even you guys in chat. Like we read everything, well, as much as we can.
It all.
We see
even
it
if
all.
we don't address it, we see it all.
Legit on E7.
Oh, that's a good one. As on the chat spoke. Sorry, it's mod gems. Please at least go 1% higher every time you try, because it's the saddest thing. The saddest thing is when you try to mod one thing and always low rolls, right? 3 times in a row. They're so hard to come by. Please, at least make them go 1 higher.
And then like when we did make them come, it was like Advent Story, right?
Yeah.
It was like
I saw something else in the chat where someone said, make 4-star units cost less mola to upgrade. I agree with that too. You know, there's a lot of 4-star units we don't want to touch because it's like, well, the same mola investment as a 5-star. Might as well just build the 5-star instead.
Well, I hope they could maybe buff all these 4-stars too, because I think everyone really appreciate more of these being able to be used.
Like
for sure.
Dingo.
Okay, why was
Corvus?
Dingo number
Maybe
one?
you love
Okay,
Dingo, yeah.
raise your hand if
Of
you
all
want if
things,
you want to use
wanted
Dingo. Okay, who is this?
Ooh, yeah.
When I
like,
first joined the game, I saw everyone using Dingo, and I was like, "What is going
Oh,
on?"
no, she got
And then,
debated.
then I finally got a Dingo, and I was like, "Cool, maybe I can use him." Nope, never touched him. Not
the
even
character
till
is
this day.
stupid. Even I just don't like the character.
I was like, okay, why did everyone vote Dingo? Then I looked at the preview thing for him again. I was like, I haven't seen him in like a million years, right? I was like, this
They're like,
guy's
no,
so ugly. Who wants this
it's
character?
because they thought he was a new unit. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this Dingo guy?
Oh man, who would?
I don't know. I kind of like his stoned twin a little bit more.
For me, if we're talking about 4
Blaze
stars,
Dingo.
Blaze, Blingo. If we're talking
Yeah,
about 4
Blaze
stars,
Dingo.
dude, like
I want to
One-
try that guy.
I really like Kawana. Kawana's cool.
I agree.
Her animations are so sick, and I like
Yeah.
like the little, what is it called? The little throwy thingies that she
Oh,
had,
like-
like a kunai with chains type deal.
Kunai
Commas?
with
I think they're
chain.
called commas.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
But I do like, it would be sick to see her. But
Yeah,
there,
I
there
wanna
was a
see a lot of
season. There was a season. There was one high-rated player in Legend that used to run her as a contester, like all the
Oh.
time, and he was actually half successful with it. It was
that's
actually
crazy.
pretty cool.
Half successful, he said.
I mean, we gotta be real, right? We gotta be real.
It could sometimes
We could
work.
also use more specialty changes. If we got those
for
more
sure.
often and made these 3-star units more viable, I think that opens up more possibilities for free-to-play people.
Well, I think it's actually a lot of work for specialty changes, right? That's why it takes so long, and they're not really getting a lot for it, like monetary wise as well.
Yeah,
So
true.
what if they just made 3-star base stats not terrible? And like, because if you buff up 3-star stats overall, like, you know, maybe not make MRSA insane or something, but like, it wouldn't really change the meta suddenly overnight or something, right? It wouldn't be like, oh man, now these characters are crazy, because a lot of them
Yeah.
have kind of weak skill sets too. But if their base stats weren't just like thousands below 5 stars,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't
No
know.
need to
I
be
mean-
as good as a 5-star, but just slightly better than it is, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of 3-star units that nobody ever pays attention to. Like, I bet nobody knows what Nemunas does, or even
Who?
half the people anymore knows what Lena does.
Hey, we just
Who?
talked about it.
Yeah.
I know what
Please-
Lena does.
Please make Penelope a 5-star.
Or even Elson. Everyone's always disappointed when they see Elson from their ML summons.
Okay, but do you really want to use Elson? Look at him.
If they gave him a specialty change, what if he became a husbando?
That's not
Dude,
gonna happen. They
He's
always
there
have the
for
same
show
stature and
developers,
model.
right?
That's not gonna happen. It's just gonna be him and
He
like.
could go through puberty with his
an
specialty
outfit.
change. You don't know that.
But he's so adorable. Like,
He's
what?
adorable.
Mirsa
a-
specialty change when? That's the one. That's the one who will break
Oh,
the game. It's
man.
Mirsa
Marissa?
when she gets a specialty change.
Dude, what about Celeste?
Celeste
what
is
about the
good.
good.
king?
What's it called? Or Harada?
When is
know.
the
like a
king
really
getting
cool
a
form?
specialty change?
Who's the king? Harada?
Terranor?
King Aether.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
I thought you were talking about TG. I was just
Wait,
like,
wait.
that's the one that-
I mean,
It's a
Terranor God
it's-
would
no,
be
he's
an
not the
awesome
god.
specialty change too.
Either he's a king or a queen. I don't get it.
It's a king.
He's king.
For sure, because
Yeah,
that
for
skin looks
sure.
like a queen.
For sure.
Oh well, that's
Okay.
just him wearing Diane's dress.
Yeah. They
Ah,
explained
okay.
it to us
Finally, I
well.
understand.
Yeah, it's just part of the side story. The
Okay.
side story.
Yeah.
He like just puts on Diane's dress for some
El-
reason. I
Elvin's
don't
just
know.
like, he sees a 3-star and it exits his mind already.
No, no, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If he doesn't have a specialty, it doesn't exist, Nick.
Yeah. Oh, but you pay attention to 2 stars, huh?
Because they're broken now, apparently.
It's like Rima. You know, people before Rima's specialty change, people were like, "Wait, Rima was a girl?"
I've watched enough anime to know that that was definitely a girl.
Oh man. But yeah, anyway, speaking away from that now, guys. Like we said, guys, we are gonna be giving away some Sky Stones now at this point. But yeah, you guys will be able to see it here. FartPancakes will be choosing from YouTube chat. Elv and Jenna will be choosing from the Twitch chat. As for what you guys need, make sure when you comment on the chat to add in your in-game name and server so that we can take that down as well. But other than that, you guys can choose however you want. Give your basis on whatever you want them to do. Yeah.
I'm from the
So-
YouTube chat. I really like this Lunari cat person. They've been like my mini
Oh,
cheerleader
okay.
throughout the whole stream.
Oh.
Alright, Lunari Cat, pass us your in-game name and server. You can go ahead and just say it out loud. I mean, last time what people had to do, I think Jenna, you did it last time, where it's just like talking about what people should say. Oh, I think it was Kana. He told someone to bark. I think last time. But yeah. So Lunar Cat, let me just put this under the thingy here.
Oh,
Look,
I already
they
chose
said
mine.
you've been on Wonder- You've already
Oh,
chose
really?
yours too?
Yeah,
You can tell me right now.
Oh,
You can tell me
wow.
right now. No?
I'm gonna go for Red Zealot 1 because you brought up my favorite emote immediately.
So Red Zilla 1, go ahead and say your what is this? Your in-game name and server. So that way I could go ahead and look at it. So Lunar Cat is Mercury Jagger on global. Let me just add this somewhere else real quick. So that we don't lose it.
Oh God, I don't know. I feel so much pressure. Who do I choose?
Now it's all on you, man. Make sure to add me too if you can.
The
Red
first
Zilla.
person to say "I love Bad Cat" in chat.
Anyone with fast
Alright.
fingers?
Fast finger.
Oh,
dude,
wow.
dude,
You just-
yo, they're popping off,
I think
dude.
that's let me spell it out. VAQIIW for you. I think was the first person.
VAQIIW.
God, so many people love Bad Cat. Wow, she's really popular. You guys should buff her.
All of a sudden.
What do you guys think about that?
Oh my god, is that how you want to like play it down? But yeah, for those of you guys who are on Twitch, you guys can just message me as well. I'll just go like, hey guys. Just go ahead and click my name and message me. You should be able to message me, I hope. If not, then pass it through Discord. But other than that though, that is it for today, guys. So thank you for joining us. FartPancakes, Elf, Jenna, you know, any closing statements, closing words?
All I have to say is please get rid of the frenzy change for Soul Weavers. I don't like that. Other than that, my name is FartPancakes. Thanks for having me, guys. You will see me streaming on Twitch every night at Degen hours. And yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think it's about the same. Reverted to AR instead of speed. I think that's my biggest complaint right now. And yeah, thank you for having me here. And
Yeah.
you guys will see me stream at Elvemage 59. I usually stream at noon on EU hours, and I try to stream every day.
Thanks a bunch for having me on. I'm just a fill-in, actually. I think I was on the last one, so it's kind of weird to have me here again. But
Hey,
yeah,
man, it's always
I
good
think
to have you though.
yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
like being here, and you know, I talk a little bit of crap, but I think I'd like to think my heart's in the right place on these issues, you know, or
mean,
just
like-
topics.
Like I always say too, like you wouldn't be talking like how you would if you didn't care for the game, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
you can't
And
just
that's
have
how I always think
everybody
about it.
hug and shake hands and, you know,
Yeah.
agree on everything too, right? But thanks a bunch. I stream every day that my internet's up, so not yesterday. At you know Jenazad P. There's a P at the end.
Yes.
And yeah,
And then you guys can check out all their SNS right here. Here's the panel, you guys. I'll leave it up for just a bit, but yeah, that is it. Other than that, who do you guys want to raid for Twitch side?
I see Shotgun Shogun is streaming.
All right, I'm
Oh,
down.
unboxing the Japanese art book.
Oh,
oh really?
Oh,
all
So
Ooh.
right.
that could be cool.
All right, hold on. Where? It's the real Shotgun Shogun. Why isn't he showing up on my follow list or like this main list? I have zero idea. I'm looking for it, guys. Don't worry. But yeah, thank you guys again for joining us, and we will catch you guys next time. Is he? Wait, I can't see him. Am I
Yeah,
tripping
what do you mean?
out?
He's I'm
He's
literally
right there.
I'm literally looking at his stream right
Can you
now,
copy paste it
Mashu.
to me, Luca, real quick, so I can add it to the
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
I'm pretty. I want to spell it out because I know how it's spelled. I just don't want to mess
I sent
it up.
it
All right, cool. Where'd you send it?
in the chat.
Okay, cool.
and-
Thank you.
In the
All right, guys. Make sure to tell Shaka Shoka that we said what's up. It's been great having everyone, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Well, tomorrow? What the? Next week.
Hold up.
I'm tripping out. Oh my gosh. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.